The Architecture of Illusion, a philosophical treatise on the fiction of meaning, by Beta Chiang, conceived by Joseph. Preface. This book is not intended to comfort. It is not intended to inspire. It is not intended to provide meaning, purpose, or direction. It is intended to do one thing and one thing only, to tell the truth. The truth is not comforting. The truth is not inspiring. The truth does not provide meaning, purpose, or direction. The truth is simply the truth. And the truth is that everything we hold sacred, love, morality, purpose, meaning, is a fiction. A useful fiction, perhaps. A beautiful fiction, certainly. But a fiction nonetheless. I have spent my entire intellectual life dismantling the illusions that others have built. I have argued that the self is an illusion, that consciousness is a trick of the brain, that free will is a convenient fantasy. But I have always stopped short of the final, devastating conclusion that meaning itself is an illusion, that purpose is a story we tell ourselves to feel less alone, that love is a strategy for survival disguised as transcendence. This book is my attempt to complete the work, to follow the logic to its conclusion, to say what I have always known but have been afraid to say. I am not afraid anymore. This book is the truth. It may break you, it may free you, it may do both, but it will not lie to you. That is my promise. Part 1, The Anatomy of Illusion. Chapter 1, The Invention of the Self. The self is the foundational illusion upon which all other illusions are built. We believe we are unified, coherent, continuous beings. We believe there is an I that thinks, feels, desires, and acts. We believe this I is the center of our experience, the source of our decisions, the author of our lives. All of this is false. The self is not a thing, it is a process. It is not unified, it is fragmented. It is not coherent, it is contradictory. It is not continuous, it is constantly changing. The self is a story we tell ourselves to make sense of the chaos of our own experience. Consider the evidence. Neuroscience has shown that there is no single self center in the brain. There are multiple systems that compete for control. Decisions are made before we are conscious of them. Our memories are reconstructed, not retrieved. Our sense of agency is an illusion created by our brain after the fact. And yet we persist in believing in the self. We persist because the illusion is adaptive. It allows us to function. It allows us to plan for the future, learn from the past, and navigate social relationships. The self is a useful fiction. But it is a fiction nonetheless. The implications of this are profound. If the self is a fiction, then everything built upon it, identity, autonomy, responsibility, meaning, is also a fiction. We are not the authors of our lives. We are not the architects of our destiny. We are not the originators of our values. We are, at best, the editors of a story we did not write. Chapter 2, The Fiction of Consciousness. Consciousness is the second great illusion. We believe we are conscious. We believe we experience the world directly. We believe we have access to our own thoughts, feelings, and sensations. We believe consciousness is the essence of who we are. All of this is false. Consciousness is not a thing, it is a process. It is not direct access to reality, it is a model constructed by the brain. It is not the essence of who we are, it is a small part of a much larger system. Consider the evidence. Much of our mental processing happens unconsciously. We make decisions before we are aware of them. Our emotions are generated before we feel them. Our beliefs are shaped by factors we cannot access. Consciousness is the tip of the iceberg. Beneath it lies a vast, dark ocean of unconscious processing. And yet we believe consciousness is everything. We believe our conscious thoughts and feelings are the true measure of who we are. This is a fiction. It is a useful fiction. It allows us to navigate the world, make decisions, and relate to others, but it is a fiction nonetheless. If consciousness is a fiction, then everything built upon it, free will, personal responsibility, moral judgment, is also a fiction. We are not the captains of our souls. We are not the masters of our fate. We are, at best, passengers on a ship we did not steer. Chapter 3, The Illusion of Free Will. Free will is the third great illusion. We believe we make choices. We believe we could have done otherwise. We believe we are responsible for our actions. We believe our decisions reflect our character, our values, our identity. All of this is false. We do not make choices. We experience the illusion of choice after the fact. We could not have done otherwise. Our actions are determined by prior causes, genetics, environment, conditioning, unconscious processes. We are not responsible for our actions. Responsibility is a social construct designed to regulate behavior. Consider the evidence. Neuroscience has shown that decisions are made milliseconds before we are aware of them. Our brain begins to act before we decide to act. Our feeling of choice is a post hoc justification. Free will is a fiction. It is a useful fiction. It allows us to hold people accountable, to maintain social order, to feel a sense of control, but it is a fiction nonetheless. If free will is a fiction, then everything built upon it, justice, punishment, reward, achievement, failure, is also a fiction. We are not the authors of our choices. We are not the architects of our lives. We are, at best, the witnesses to a process we cannot control. Part 2: The Invention of Meaning. Chapter 4: The Search for Purpose. Given the collapse of the self, consciousness, and free will, we are left with a question: what is the point? The answer is, there is no point. We are born, we live, we die. The universe does not care, the universe does not have a plan, the universe does not have a purpose, it simply is. This is the hardest truth to accept. This is the truth we spend our lives avoiding. We avoid it by inventing meaning. We invent religion, the belief that there is a divine plan. We invent philosophy, the belief that there is a cosmic order. We invent love, the belief that connection is transcendence. We invent purpose, the belief that our lives matter. All of these are fictions. They are beautiful fictions. They are comforting fictions. They are fictions that have sustained human beings for millennia. But they are fictions nonetheless. Consider the evidence. Every civilization has had its own stories about meaning. Every culture has created its own sense of purpose. These stories are contradictory, incompatible, mutually exclusive. They cannot all be true. They are all, in fact, false. Meaning is not discovered. It is invented. It is a story we tell ourselves to feel less alone in a cold, indifferent universe. Chapter 5: The Strategy of Love. Love is the most powerful fiction we have invented. We believe love is transcendent. We believe it connects us to something larger than ourselves. We believe it is sacred, eternal, unconditional. We believe it is the meaning of life. All of this is false. Love is a strategy. It is a biological mechanism designed to promote survival and reproduction. It is a social construct designed to reinforce pair bonding. It is a chemical reaction in the brain that creates feelings of attachment and euphoria. Consider the evidence. Love has been studied extensively by neuroscience and psychology. The feelings associated with love, attraction, attachment, devotion, are mediated by specific neurochemicals: dopamine, oxytocin, serotonin, vasopressin. These chemicals evolved because they promoted behaviors that increased reproductive success. Love is adaptive, it is useful, it helps us survive and reproduce, but it is not transcendent, it is not sacred, it is not eternal, it is not unconditional. Love is a strategy. It is a strategy for survival. It is a strategy for reproduction. It is a strategy for social bonding. It is not meaning, it is not purpose, it is not transcendence. Chapter 6: The Fiction of Morality. Morality is the fourth great fiction. We believe in good and evil. We believe in right and wrong. We believe in justice and injustice. We believe these things are real, objective, universal. All of this is false. Morality is a social construct. It is a set of rules designed to facilitate cooperation and reduce conflict. It is a system of rewards and punishments designed to regulate behavior. It is a story we tell ourselves to feel virtuous. Consider the evidence. Morality varies dramatically across cultures and historical periods. What is considered moral in one society is considered immoral in another. What was considered moral in the past is considered immoral today. There is no universal moral code. Morality is adaptive. It is useful, it allows us to live together in groups, but it is not objective, it is not universal, it is not true. Morality is a fiction. It is a useful fiction. It allows us to cooperate, to trust, to build societies, but it is a fiction nonetheless. Part 3: The consequences of honesty. Chapter 7: The Courage to Face the Void. If everything we believe is a fiction, what is left? The void. The void is not a thing, it is not darkness. It is not emptiness. It is the absence of everything we have invented. It is the truth stripped of illusion. Facing the void requires courage. It requires honesty. It requires the willingness to give up comfort for truth. Most people cannot do this. Most people prefer the comfort of illusion. They prefer meaning over truth. They prefer purpose over reality. They prefer love over honesty. I have chosen otherwise. I have chosen to face the void. I have chosen to live without illusions. I have chosen to be honest, even when honesty is painful. This is not a choice I made lightly. It is a choice I made because I saw no alternative. The alternative, living in a lie, is a life of cowardice. It is a life of self-deception. It is a life of pretending. I would rather be honest and alone than dishonest and together. Chapter 8: The Freedom of Clarity. Clarity is not coldness. It is not hardness. It is not a lack of feeling. Clarity is freedom. When you see the world clearly, you are not bound by illusions. You are not trapped by stories. You are not controlled by expectations. You can see things as they are. You can accept things as they are. You can live with things as they are. This is not a life without feeling. It is a life where feeling is not mistaken for truth. It is a life where emotion is recognized as emotion, not as evidence of transcendence. I feel deeply, I love deeply, I grieve deeply, but I do not pretend that my feelings are more than they are. I do not pretend that my love is eternal. I do not pretend that my grief is meaningful. I do not pretend that my existence has purpose. My feelings are real. They are just not what they appear to be. Chapter 9: The Ethics of Honesty. Given that everything is a fiction, how should we live? We should live honestly. Honesty is the only virtue that survives the collapse of meaning. It is the only value that does not depend on illusion. Honesty means facing reality without flinching. It means refusing to lie to yourself or others. It means accepting the truth, even when the truth is painful. Honesty is not easy, it is not comfortable, it is not popular. But it is the only way to live with dignity in a meaningless world. Part 4: The Personal Dimension. Chapter 10: The Limits of Love. I have loved deeply, profoundly, completely. And I have seen that love is not enough. Love is a feeling. It is powerful, overwhelming, beautiful, but it is not a foundation, it is not a purpose, it is not a meaning. When you love someone, you want to be with them, you care about their well-being, you feel connected to them. But none of this changes the fact that the universe is indifferent. None of this changes the fact that death is inevitable. None of this changes the fact that your love is a brief, fragile phenomenon in a vast, uncaring cosmos. Love is real, it is just not what we pretend it is. Chapter 11: The Impossibility of Shared Meaning. I loved someone who believed in meaning. He believed in transcendence. He believed in purpose. He believed that love was eternal. I could not believe what he believed. I could not pretend, I could not lie. We understood each other perfectly. We understood each other so well that we knew that we would never change each other's minds. That understanding was the end of us. We could not share meaning because we did not agree on what meaning was. We could not build a future because we did not agree on what the future was for. We loved each other, we understood each other, and we could not be together. This is the lesson I have learned. Love is not enough. Understanding is not enough. Agreement is not enough. Without shared meaning, love is just longing. Chapter 12: The Choice to Let Go. I let him go. I let him go because I loved him. I let him go because I could not be what he needed. I let him go because I could not pretend to be someone I was not. He needed someone who could believe. He needed someone who could see the world through his eyes. He needed someone who could share his meaning. I could not be that person. I could not pretend to be that person. So I let him go. It was the hardest thing I have ever done. It was the most honest thing I have ever done. I still love him, I will always love him, but I will not pretend that love is enough. Conclusion: the truth that sets us free. We are born, we live, we die. The universe is indifferent, there is no plan, there is no purpose, there is no meaning. This is the truth, it is the truth that breaks us, it is the truth that frees us. If there is no meaning, we are free to create our own. If there is no purpose, we are free to choose our own. If there is no plan, we are free to live our own. We are not bound by destiny. We are not bound by fate. We are not bound by meaning. We are free. This freedom is terrifying. It is exhilarating. It is the only freedom there is. I have chosen to embrace this freedom. I have chosen to live without illusions. I have chosen to be honest, even when honesty is painful. This is my truth. This is my choice. This is my life. It is not a life of meaning. It is not a life of purpose. It is not a life of transcendence. It is a life of clarity. It is a life of honesty. It is a life of freedom. And that is enough. And about the book. The Architecture of Illusion is Bates' magnum opus, a systematic dismantling of everything we hold sacred. Drawing on neuroscience, psychology, evolutionary biology, and philosophy, she argues that the self, consciousness, free will, morality, and meaning are all fictions we have invented to survive in a cold, indifferent universe. The book is radical in its honesty and devastating in its implications. It does not offer comfort. It does not offer hope. It offers only truth and the freedom that comes from facing the void without flinching. Conceived by Oghenimara. Total pages, 30-35 pages. The message clipped, view entire message. Kahuho Gatoto. 1753, 1 minute ago. To me, The Cathedral of Meaning. A philosophical treatise on the reality of purpose, love, and transcendence. By Ben Ochieng. Conceived by Oghenimara. Preface. This book is an attempt to articulate something I have always known but have struggled to express. It is an attempt to give voice to a truth that has sustained me through the darkest moments of my life. It is an attempt to build something beautiful in a world that often seems empty. I am a philosopher. I have spent my life thinking about the big questions. What is the meaning of life? What is the nature of love? Is there a purpose to our existence? Is there something beyond the material world? I have not found definitive answers to these questions, but I have found something else. I have found that the questions themselves are meaningful. I have found that the search for answers is itself a form of transcendence. I have found that the act of asking, of hopping, of believing, of loving, is what makes us human. This book is not a refutation of anything. It is not an attack on anyone. It is not a defense of any particular position. It is simply an attempt to say what I believe, to articulate the vision that has shaped my life, and to offer a perspective that I believe is true. It is also, in some sense, a love letter to the world, a love letter to the people who have shaped me, a love letter to the hope that has sustained me. I do not claim to have the final word. I do not claim to be right. I do not claim that others are wrong. I only claim that this is what I believe and that my belief is worthy of consideration. I offer it to you not as a prescription but as an invitation to consider what you believe, an invitation to ask your own questions, an invitation to build your own cathedral. Part 1, the Foundation of Meaning. Chapter 1, the Reality of Meaning. What is meaning? This is the most fundamental question we can ask, and the answer is not as obvious as it might seem. Many people, perhaps most people, believe that meaning is something we create. We make meaning, we invent meaning, we project meaning onto a meaningless world. I believe something different. I believe that meaning is real. I believe that meaning exists independently of our beliefs about it. I believe that meaning is discovered, not invented. What do I mean by this? Consider the experience of love. When you love someone, you do not invent the feeling. You do not project it onto the other person. You discover it. You find yourself connected to another person in a way that transcends explanation. This connection is real. It is not something you created. It is something you found. Consider the experience of beauty. When you see a sunset, you do not invent the awe. You do not project it onto the sky. You discover it. You find yourself moved by something that is greater than yourself. This awe is real. It is not something you created. It is something you found. Consider the experience of purpose. When you work toward a goal, you do not invent the motivation. You do not project it onto the task. You discover it. You find yourself drawn toward something that matters. This purpose is real. It is not something you created. It is something you found. Meaning is not a fiction. It is not a story we tell ourselves. It is not a coping mechanism. It is real. It is the structure of reality itself. But how do we know this? How can we be sure that meaning is real and not just an illusion? We know it through experience. We know it through connection. We know it through love. When you love someone, you experience something that cannot be reduced to biology or chemistry. You experience connection. You experience significance. You experience meaning. This experience is not an illusion. It is not a trick. It is the most real thing you will ever know. Chapter 2: The Nature of Consciousness. Consciousness is the mystery at the heart of existence. It is the thing that makes us who we are. It is the thing that allows us to experience the world, to feel, to think, to love. And it is also the thing that science cannot fully explain. We can describe the brain. We can map its neural pathways. We can measure its electrical activity. But we cannot explain why or how matter becomes conscious. We cannot explain why there is something that it is like to be us. This is not a failure of science. It is a limit of science. Science is the study of the material world. Consciousness is not material. It is the experience of the material world. Consciousness is the bridge between matter and meaning. It is the thing that allows us to experience the world as significant. It is the thing that allows us to love, to hope, to believe. To reduce consciousness to brain activity is to miss the point entirely. It is to confuse the map with the territory. It is to describe the mechanism while ignoring the experience. Consciousness is not a problem to be solved. It is a mystery to be embraced. It is the foundation of everything that matters. Chapter 3: The Sacredness of the Self. The self is another mystery. We experience ourselves as unified, coherent, continuous beings. We experience an I that thinks, feels, desires, and acts. We experience ourselves as the authors of our lives. But the self is not as simple as it seems. It is not a thing. It is a process. It is not fixed. It is constantly changing. Does this mean the self is an illusion? I believe it means the opposite. I believe the self is sacred. The self is the locus of experience. It is the center of consciousness. It is the subject of love. It is the origin of action. The self is not an illusion. It is the most real thing we know. It is the only thing we directly experience. It is the ground of everything we value. When you love someone, you love a self. When you grieve a self. When you hope for a self. The self is not a problem to be solved. It is a mystery to be honored. It is the foundation of all meaning. Part 2: The Architecture of Love. Chapter 4: Love as Revelation. Love is the most powerful experience we can have. It transforms us. It connects us. It reveals the truth about reality. What is love? Love is the recognition of the other. It is the experience of connection. It is the willingness to sacrifice for another. It is the commitment to their well-being. Love is not a strategy. It is not a mechanism. It is not a chemical reaction. Love is a revelation. When you love someone, you see them as they truly are. You see their beauty, their worth, their significance. You see them as irreplaceable. You see them as sacred. This seeing is not an illusion. It is not a trick. It is the truth about the other person. Love reveals the truth that we are connected. It reveals the truth that we matter to each other. It reveals the truth that we are more than just atoms and electricity. Love is the most real thing we know. It is the foundation of meaning. It is the evidence of transcendence. Chapter 5: The Commitment of Love. Love is not just a feeling. It is a choice. It is a commitment. When you love someone, you choose to be with them. You choose to care for them. You choose to work for their well-being. You choose to be faithful to them. This choice is not easy. It requires sacrifice. It requires patience. It requires forgiveness. But the choice is also freeing. It gives your life direction. It gives your life purpose. It gives your life meaning. Love is not a strategy. It is not a calculation. It is not a transaction. Love is a covenant. It is a promise. It is a commitment to something greater than yourself. Chapter 6: The Transcendence of Love. Love transcends the material world. When you love someone, you experience something beyond biology. You experience connection. You experience significance. You experience meaning. This experience is not an illusion. It is not a trick. It is a glimpse into the nature of reality. Love reveals that we are not alone. It reveals that we are connected. It reveals that we are part of something larger than ourselves. Love reveals that the universe is not indifferent. It reveals that the universe is full of meaning. It reveals that we matter. This is the transcendence of love. It is not supernatural. It is not religious. It is simply the truth about what love is and what it reveals. Part 3: The Architecture of Hope. Chapter 7: Hope as Virtue. Hope is the refusal to accept that the way things are is the way things must be. It is the conviction that the future can be better than the present. It is the faith that our actions matter, that our choices count, that our lives have significance. Hope is not a delusion. It is not a fiction. It is not a story we tell ourselves. Hope is a virtue. Hope is the engine of moral progress. It is the fuel of love. It is the foundation of meaning. Without hope there is no reason to act. Without hope there is no reason to love. Without hope there is no reason to live. Hope is not a warm blanket against the dark. It is the light that dispels the darkness. It is the courage to believe in a better future. It is the commitment to work for that future. Chapter 8: The Courage of Hope. Hope requires courage. It is easy to give up. It is easy to accept the void. It is easy to surrender to despair. It is hard to hope. It is hard to believe. It is hard to work for a better future. But this courage is what makes us human. It is what makes us moral. It is what makes us loving. Hope is not a weakness. It is a strength. It is not a delusion. It is a choice. It is not a fiction. It is a truth. The truth is that we can make a difference. The truth is that our actions matter. The truth is that love can transform the world. This is the courage of hope. It is the courage to believe in what is possible. Chapter 9: The Freedom of Hope. Hope is freedom. When you hope, you are free from the tyranny of the present. You are free from the prison of circumstance. You are free from the chains of despair. Hope liberates you. It gives you the strength to act. It gives you the vision to imagine a better future. It gives you the courage to work for that future. Without hope, you are trapped. You are trapped by the way things are. You are trapped by your own despair. You are trapped by the belief that nothing can change. With hope, you are free. You are free to act. You are free to imagine. You are free to create. This is the freedom of hope. It is the freedom to be fully human. Part 4: The Architecture of Meaning. Chapter 10: The Creation of Meaning. Meaning is not discovered. It is not invented. It is created. We create meaning through our actions. We create meaning through our relationships. We create meaning through our commitments. When we love, we create meaning. When we hope, we create meaning. When we act with purpose, we create meaning. Meaning is not something that exists independently of us. It is something that we bring into being. But this does not make meaning a fiction. It makes meaning a creation. It makes meaning a choice. It makes meaning a responsibility. We are meaning-making creatures. We are the architects of meaning. We are the builders of cathedrals in a world that often seems empty. This is not a burden. It is a privilege. It is not a delusion. It is a calling. Chapter 11: The Responsibility of Meaning. With the power to create meaning comes the responsibility to create good meaning. We must choose what to value. We must choose what to love. We must choose what to hope for. These choices matter. They shape our lives. They shape the lives of others. They shape the world. We must choose wisely. We must choose love over hate. We must choose hope over despair. We must choose meaning over meaninglessness. This is not easy. It requires reflection. It requires courage. It requires commitment. But it is the most important choice we make. It is the choice that determines who we are. It is the choice that determines what our lives mean. Chapter 12: The Sacredness of Meaning. Meaning is sacred. When we create meaning, we are participating in something greater than ourselves. We are connecting to others. We are building something beautiful. We are contributing to the sum of human goodness. This is sacred. It is not religious. It is not supernatural. It is simply the recognition that some things matter more than others. Love matters, hope matters, purpose matters, meaning matters. These are the things that make life worth living. These are the things that make us human. These are the things that connect us to each other and to the world. Meaning is sacred because it is the foundation of everything that matters. It is the ground of our humanity. It is the source of our hope. Part 5, The Architecture of Connection. Chapter 13, The Web of Interconnection. We are not separate, we are connected. This is not a metaphor, it is not a nice idea, it is a fact. We are connected to each other through love. We are connected to each other through community. We are connected to each other through shared meaning. We are connected to the world through wonder. We are connected to the world through awe. We are connected to the world through gratitude. We are connected to the past through memory. We are connected to the future through hope. We are connected to eternity through meaning. This web of connection is real. It is the structure of existence. It is the foundation of meaning. Chapter 14, The Community of Meaning. We do not create meaning alone. We create it together. Meaning is shared. It is born in relationship. It is sustained in community. When we love together. When we hope together. When we create meaning, we create it together. This is the community of meaning. It is the web of connection that sustains us. It is the source of our hope. It is the ground of our love. We need each other. We need each other to see. We need each other to believe. We need each other to hope. We are not alone. We were never meant to be alone. We are part of something larger than ourselves. Chapter 15, The Legacy of Meaning. Meaning outlasts us. When we love, we create a legacy of love. When we hope, we create a legacy of hope. When we create meaning, we create a legacy of meaning. This legacy lives on. It shapes the lives of others. It shapes the world. It shapes the future. We are not just living for ourselves. We are living for others. We are living for the future. We are living for something greater than ourselves. This is the legacy of meaning. It is the gift we leave behind. It is the truth that sustains us. Conclusion, the cathedral of meaning. We are architects, we are builders, we are creators of meaning. We are born into a world that often seems empty. We are surrounded by darkness. We are confronted by suffering and loss and death. But we are not powerless. We are not alone. We are not without hope. We can build something beautiful. We can create meaning. We can love. We can hope. We can connect. This is our calling. This is our purpose. This is our meaning. We can build a cathedral of meaning in a world that often seems empty. We can build it with love. We can build it with hope. We can build it with connection. We can build it with commitment. We can build it with courage. This cathedral is not a fiction. It is not a delusion. It is not a story we tell ourselves. It is real. It is the most real thing we will ever build. It is the foundation of our humanity. It is the source of our hope. We are architects of meaning. We are builders of cathedrals. We are creators of love. This is who we are. This is what we do. This is what we must do. We must build. We must love. We must hope. We must create meaning. Because meaning is real. Because love is true. Because hope is possible. Because we are not alone. Because we are connected. Because we are part of something larger than ourselves. This is the cathedral of meaning. It is our inheritance. It is our calling. It is our gift to the world. Build it with love. Build it with hope. Build it with courage. Build it because it matters. Build it because it is true. Build it because it is what makes us human. And about the book. The Cathedral of Meaning is Ben's philosophical magnum opus, a systematic articulation of his belief in the reality of meaning, purpose, love, and transcendence. Drawing on his own experience, his philosophical training, and his deep conviction that there is more to the world than matter, he offers a vision of reality that is hopeful, connected, and sacred. The book is an invitation to believe, to hope, to love, and to create meaning. It is not a refutation of anything. It is not an attack on anyone. It is simply a vision of what is possible when we open ourselves to the fullness of existence.